Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a film that completely redefined the horror genre. Jordan Peele's Get Out, but this isn't just about jump scares. It's a brilliant, layered critique of modern racism, especially the kind that hides behind a liberal, inclusive smile. So let's get into it. The story starts with Chris, a black photographer, and his white girlfriend Rose, heading to meet her parents for the first time. The journey itself is filled with subtle signs. When they hit a deer, the responding police officer's interaction with Chris immediately sets a tone of underlying racial tension. Rose's performative defense of Chris feels less like genuine support and more like a way to assert her own, not racist credentials. When they arrive at the Armitage house, the liberal facade is on full display. Rose's father, Dean, is overly eager to show how progressive he is, famously saying he would have voted for Obama for a third term if he could. Yet his comments are laced with microaggressions. He talks about deer as if they're pests that need to be eradicated, a thinly veiled metaphor for how he views outsiders or those he deems a threat. His language reveals a mindset that sees minority groups not as people, but as something to be managed or controlled. It's this subtle, almost friendly-seeming prejudice that makes the environment so unsettling. One of the most powerful and symbolic scenes in the movie is the hypnosis session with Missy, Rose's mother. She uses a teacup and a silver spoon to send Chris into the sunken place. This isn't just a random prop choice. The tea represents a colonizing culture, a tool of polite, civilized society used to assert dominance. The silver spoon symbolizes the inherited class privilege of the Armitage family. Missy doesn't need physical force to control Chris. She uses the subtle psychological tools of her social standing. The sunken place becomes a terrifying metaphor for the paralysis and voicelessness experienced by black people when confronted with systemic racism. They can see what's happening, but they are powerless to act or speak out. Things get even more uncomfortable during the family's annual party. The guests, all wealthy and white, swarm Chris. They believe they are being complimentary and inclusive, but their comments are deeply racist. They fetishize his physique, asking about his genetic makeup and making assumptions about his athletic prowess. They touch him without permission, treating him less like a person and more like an object to be admired and appraised. One guest even comments on how in fashion being black is. These interactions perfectly capture the exhausting experience of navigating spaces where you are seen as a stereotype, not an individual. Despite their liberal self-image, the guests reinforce harmful biases, making genuine connection impossible. The party culminates in a horrifying reveal, a silent auction. The guests aren't just there for a social gathering. They're bidding on Chris. This scene is a direct and chilling callback to slave auctions. It modernizes the buying and selling of black bodies, swapping overt chains for polite, silent gestures. The objectification is complete. Chris is no longer a person. He's a vessel, a commodity valued for his physical attributes. The film argues that while the methods have become more covert, the underlying principle of dehumanization and fetishization of the black body remains a disturbing part of contemporary racism. It's not about humanity, it's about possession. This is where the film makes one of its most crucial points. Racism isn't always about personal hatred. For the Armitages and their friends, it's about benefit. They don't seem to actively hate black people. In fact, they claim to admire them. But they participate in a monstrous system that exploits and destroys black lives for their own gain, in this case, for a twisted form of immortality. This mirrors how systemic racism works in the real world. Many people benefit from structures that disadvantage others, even if they don't hold personal animosity. During another hypnosis session, we see Chris's deep-seated trauma related to his mother's death, revealing an emotional vulnerability that the Armitages seek to exploit. His pain is just another resource for them to use. The terrifying truth is finally revealed when Chris stumbles upon a box of photos. He sees Rose with a series of other black men, all of whom have gone missing. The friendly, loving girlfriend was a lie, a lure. He learns about the family's horrifying procedure, transplanting the brains of their elderly white friends into the bodies of young, healthy black people. The original consciousness is trapped in the sunken place, a passive observer in their own body. This is a powerful critique of cultural appropriation and colonialism. It's not just about stealing a body. It's about erasing an identity, a consciousness, and a culture, replacing it with the colonizer's own. It's the ultimate form of objectification. Now, knowing the truth, Chris has to fight for his life. In a moment of brilliant symbolism, he uses cotton stuffing from a chair to plug his ears, blocking out the sound of the teacup and breaking free from Missy's hypnotic control. He turns a symbol of black oppression cotton into a tool of his own liberation. This marks a turning point in the film, where the psychological horror erupts into visceral, physical violence. Chris confronts each member of the family, and we see their true monstrous nature emerge. The mounted deer head on the wall, once just a piece of decor, becomes a weapon, symbolizing the pest fighting back. The final confrontation with Rose is incredibly tense. Even after being exposed, she tries to manipulate him, playing the victim. When that fails, her facade shatters completely, revealing the cold, ruthless person underneath. Just as Chris is about to finish her, police lights flash in the distance. In that moment, we feel Chris's panic. We know how this looks: a black man standing over a bleeding white woman. The scene masterfully plays on the real-world fear and distrust that black communities have for law enforcement, knowing that the system is often not on their side. But then the car door opens, and it's his best friend Rod from the TSA. The relief is immense. Rod represents a lifeline, a connection to the real world and a testament to the importance of community and looking out for one another. His arrival doesn't mean racism is defeated. Far from it. The film ends on a somber note, leaving Chris silent and traumatized. It underscores that this is an ongoing battle. Get Out is a masterpiece because it entertains as a horror film while delivering a profound and necessary commentary on the hidden, insidious nature of modern racism. It forces us to look beyond the obvious and question the comfortable lies we tell ourselves. Thank you so much for watching this deep dive. What were your biggest takeaways from Get Out? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content. See you in the next video.